Vela taking on Brownsville Porter. Lady Cowgirls having gone 1-1 thus far in pool play, and Ediburg Vela steps on the court for a first time. 1-0 Porter is back at the service line for the Cowgirls as Ashley Pena gets it across. Vela will set it up, tipped across the net. That's Glennis Maldonado up there. She is a big part of their offense. Center set this time. That's whistled across, and that is down for the point. Ediburg Vela scores. 1-1 game. SaberCats will rotate back to serve. Back at the line stands Gabriela Avala. Serve across makes it a 2-1 game. And the SaberCats will look to score again. Avila will be serving. Vela will have to play 3 games in a row because of travel concerns. They were here late in the game in this pool. They'll take on this Porter team. They'll have to take on Rio Grande City, and they'll take on Laredo United South. Maldonado hits that across, played by the Porter Cowboys. High set on the left side, off the block, played by Vela, but in the net called, and a point to Porter. Ties us up at 2 apiece. 2-2 your score as the Cowgirls were involved in a terrific game against Rio Grande City that went 3 games to decide it. That serve goes in the net, point to Vela. SaberCats go back on top at 3-2. Rotate back to serve as Hannah Larson. Larson to serve, right-handed server. And you wonder if Vela will try to protect players. Because again, conditioning in the early part of the year plays a factor when you're playing in these tournaments anyway. But in this case, they're going to have to, again, play 3 consecutive sets to play this out. Back to serve for the Porter Cowboys is Andrea Perez. Puts it over. Vela on the attack, sets up Maldonado on that right side. In the net it goes, and Porter takes the lead. Porter, when they took on Laredo United South, kept it close in the early parts of games 1 and 2. Gave up about a 6-point cushion and then played evenly throughout in their eventual 2-game loss. Center set this time for the Cowgirls. Played on the back row. Nice dig that time by Rebecca Cavazos back there. She becomes the attacker. That's in the net, though. Point Porter. When Porter took on Rio Grande City, that became just a terrific match that went 3 games, all 25-23 before it was decided. And so they had a chance to set and get some energy here before they took the court against Vela. Rio Grande City had to turn right around and play against United South and fell in 2 games. Cowgirls spike it across, looking for the angle. That carries too far out of bounds. And the SaberCats score the point. They'll rotate back Glennis Maldonado, and just because your primary hitter's on the back row, it doesn't deter from her ability to attack and what we've seen in the early games covered when Ediburg Vela was on the floor. Cowgirls attack over. Played by the SaberCats. Punch that over. Porter right back at you, set it up center, spiked off the block. Maldonado there to dig that. They'll turn her into the back row attack, and the net it goes. A point to Porter. Cowgirls up at 6-4. Substitution in the ball game for the Cowgirls. They'll rotate back to serve. Annette Luna. Luna sets it in motion. Vela on the return of serve. Set it up, a back row. That's the libero playing back there. They'll get that ball over. Diving play by Maldonado. Punch right back across by the Cowgirls. And back they come. At the net again. Maldonado there to dig that. Good chance here for Porter on the long rally. A high set left side, reaching back. And the little extra puts it away. Azanet Perez. Perez makes it a 7-4 game. That went from a long rally to just an outright crunching kill for Perez. Porter with some energy. Leading 7-4. Serve it across. Vela. Back set it this time to Maldonado. In the net it goes, and Porter scores. Timeout called by Ediburg Vela. Brownsville Porter feeling it. They're up 4. Back with more right after this.
TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we return to action, and back to serve for the Porter Cowboys is Annette Luna. Cowgirls. I knew I'd say Cowboys about 6 times. That's 4. We'll get the other 2 out of the way, and then I'll have it down pat. Cowgirls to serve it up as Luna puts it in play. High arcer, played by Vela. High set after the timeout. They attack, and it's covered this time by Brownsville Porter. Set it up at the net. That's off the block. Another point for the Cowgirls as Brownsville Porter on top 9-4. Luna to serve again. Just across, played by the SaberCats on the back row, Maldonado. Punched across, played by the Cowgirls. Set it up center, spiked down, played though on the back row. Good dig that time by Gabriela Avila. Ball back on the Porter side. Trying to attack off the net this time. That's Perez. Back row, there's Maldonado. Set it on a back set to the right side. Looking for the angle, but out of bounds it goes as Karen Rojas puts a little too much on it. Makes it a 10-4 game. Cowgirls to serve. It's a cross, played by Vela. High set in the center. In the net it goes, and the Porter Cowgirls are up by 7. Back to serve is Luna again. Gets that across, played by the SaberCats. Back set this time, back to Maldonado. Eases it over. Cowgirls with a golden chance here at the net. Spiked across, and they'll call in the net against Vela a point to Porter. That whistle blew immediately, and then both officials checked on each other to make sure what was the call. Luna to serve again, and she's had a great rotation back to the service line for the Cowgirls. Good serve across. Played up with a high set for SaberCats of Ediburg Vela. Back on the attack comes Porter. Back row attack. It's going to be out of bounds and a point to Vela. 7-point game. SaberCats finally get Luna off the service line. Now back to serve is Karen Rojas for Ediburg Vela. Jump serve for her. Across played by Porter. Back set this time. Punched across. Good dig that time by Rojas. Set it up at the net. Nothing doing. A point to Porter. And this is much different than what we saw Brownsville Porter in their first 2 rounds in pool play. They never enjoyed that lead, which right now they're up by 8 here in game 1. SaberCats of Ediburg Vela. Off the net, right side. That's in the net. Went with a back set that time, but nothing doing. Porter to serve it up. Azaneth Perez to serve it. SaberCats on the return of serve. Looking for that back row. Cowgirls there to cover that. Chance here for the SaberCats to get a good scoring opportunity. Center set, block back at you though. And a diving play by Maldonado keeps it alive. Ball at the net, spiked across, off the net this time. Back on the SaberCats. This is Maldonado, back row. Played by the SaberCats. A high set center for the Cowgirls and put it away on a kill that time by Michaela Garcia. That was just terrific play on both sides of the net. Maldonado on that initial dig And then on the kill for the Cowgirls to secure the point. SaberCats attacking on a back row approach, nothing doing, and Porter now up 11. SaberCats want to talk it over. We've seen this SaberCat team be down last week in tournament action and come back. Don't count them out, but they're a long way from getting there right now. Back after this.
Professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together.
Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Back here after the quick timeout. Porter Cowgirls serve it up. Ediburg Vela will return it. Cowgirls punch it back over. Now the SaberCats can attack. Maldonado from the back row unleashes and gets the kill. Maldonado, still we haven't seen the big swings from her that we were seeing last week. Don't think they're not there. She gets on track. She can carry this team if needed. A lift call, well, 2 hits called on Porter. And so Ediburg Vela able to score again, cuts the lead to single digits at 16-9. Serve over. Played up by the Cowgirls. Played over Maldonado right there, set it up on the net. That's going to be in the net call and a point to Porter. Haley Castillo tried for the kill. Just missed on getting that over. (17-8) game. SaberCats will rotate in. Serve over. Played by the Cowgirls at the net. Good job of keeping that one alive for Ellenberg Vela. Ball back at the middle of the net. That's off the block. Played by the SaberCats. They'll set it up center. Maldonado got it blocked back at her, and a point for Brownsville Porter. Porter that time coming right at it, and getting a hand on that was Brianna Franco. Rotating back to serve is Ashley Pena. Pena serves it over. SaberCats on the return. Set it up Maldonado and looking for the back corner, but out of bounds it goes. 19-8. Back to serve is Pena. Short serve, diving play by Ediburg Vela. Here's Maldonado, tips it over the block. Diving play right back at you. 2 players dive to keep that one alive for Porter. Back on the other side, Maldonado tipped it past the blocker. Ball up high on a center set, tipped over. SaberCats on the attack. Maldonado again, back row there to punch it in the air. Keep it alive for a moment and back over. The rally continues. SaberCats set it up again. Maldonado blocked. Puts it back on the Porter side, back to Vela's side. As back and forth we go on a back set back row attempt. Played this time by the Cowgirls yet again. The rally continues. SaberCats looking for a center set this time. Past the blockers, it carries down for the point. It stayed in for Ediburg Vela on a kill by Hannah Larson. That was a well-earned point that time for Ediburg Vela. They'll substitute in as Isabel Rodriguez checks into the front row for the SaberCats. Good serve across. Ball blocked off the SaberCats, and it falls for a point for Porter. They win the race to 20, extend the lead back to 11. As Catherine Salas back to serve. Deep serve. May have been going out. SaberCats of Ediburg Vela will play it. Good chance here for the Cowgirls of Brownsville. Porter from that left side, tipped over. SaberCats keep it in play. Set it on a back set this time. Partially blocked, played by the Cowgirls, still on the back row. Third hit, they'll attack from back there. In the net it goes. Point, Ediburg Vela. 20-10 game. Back to serve is Hannah Larson. Gets that across. Good pass forward. Left side attack off the block, and a point for the Cowgirls of Brownsville. Porter. Azaneth Perez again on the kill. This Porter team just not letting go. They grasped this lead and have just carried through this game thus far. Back to serve is Andrea Perez. Good play by the SaberCats on that back row just to keep that alive for a moment, but then block back at you. Another point for Porter. Serve over. SaberCats down by 11 at 22-11. Ball up near the net. Second hit over, and they keep it alive. SaberCats back over on the Cowgirl side. Porter will attack again. This time with a swing, punched up in the air. Back row active. Here's a kill by Maldonado. That's covered. Ball back over on the SaberCats side. Another rally between these two teams. Ball on the back row, and a point for Ediburg Vela. We saw Porter's ability in the Rio Grande City games to sustain long rallies. What we're seeing now is Ediburg Vela bringing that to the table here, and thus these points are earned straight down the line. Good serve this time by Maldonado, who rotates back. That's off the block and a kill for Porter. Michaela Garcia gets another kill. Porter up 23-12. Substitute in for the Cowgirls as Annette Luna checks in. Luna to serve it up. SaberCats with a good pass. Middle of the defense, they'll get it over. That's a miss hit on the pass and a point for Ediburg Vela. 10-point game. SaberCats will enter Karen Rojas back to the game. She'll serve. They got a long hill to climb here and a slim margin for error. They'll serve it across. A high set in the center. Cowgirls off the block again, another point. Michaela Garcia is just using the block to her advantage. This rotation across the front of the net. Cowgirls now serving to win game one. Ball on the back row for Maldonado. Got it over. Chance here to put it away. Second hit over, easily covered this time by the SaberCats. Back set again. Here's Maldonado, and it's in on the back row. Maldonado with a back row kill. But Ediburg Vela now has to play perfect volleyball for 10 consecutive points. That's just to tie it. Back on the front row, Hannah Larson. Cowgirls, good pass. Back set. Back corner covered by the SaberCats. Back row attempt. Again, this is Maldonado. Ball back on the Cowgirls side. Set it up left side. That's off the block. Right back at you. Back on the Vela side now. Pass forward. High set Larson. Back corner. No one there. Point. Ediburg Vela. One game point staved off by the SaberCats. How many more can they dig up here? Set off the net. Cowgirls attacking. Punched up in the air by Maldonado. Back row, another attack, another kill for the SaberCats as this time Rojas produces. 24-16. Cowgirls still in control of this one. SaberCats coming back. Timeout. Back with more right after this.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
will blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
After a timeout, we are back to action here at Mission Veterans on a Friday here for volleyball tournament action in pool play. Brownsville Porter looking to close out game one. After a timeout called, Vela Sabercats trying to sustain a late game rally. This rally point off the net, another point for the Sabercats, and that's 3 in a row they've staved off since the Cowgirls reached 24. Down by 7, a short serve, and that's a near ace. Somehow it becomes a good pass, ball over, and that is going to be in. Looked like the judge called it out. They call it in. Game over. Porter wins it 25-17. We'll be back with game 2. Reminding you, this game is brought to you in part by Hacienda Ford. We'll be right back.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Hi, we're Mission Veterans, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Woo!
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close. Of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
Fishing fans, here's your chance to catch some fish and help out athletes at the same time. Mark the calendar now and plan on attending October 20th as the 3-up, 3-down San Perlita Booster Club Fishing Tournament looks to be the biggest and best yet. Located at Laguna Madre Baits in Port Mansfield, Texas, this tournament is set to provide 100% of the proceeds directly to the athletic programs. Artificial lures only with a blackjack format, no fish over 21 inches, $150 per team or boat, maximum 4 people, and the grand champion is a team closest to 63 inches with 1 red trout and 1 flounder. Food raffles, baked goods, a silent auction, and terrific prizes from some great sponsors. Registration is October 19th. The tournament is October 20th. See you there at the 3-up, 3-down fishing tournament in Port Mansfield, where catching fish is helping athletes in a big, big way.
Mission Veterans, our location. Thanks again for joining us as we broadcast high school volleyball from Mission all the way to Port Isabel today. Billy Watson and Bert Ruiz down there handling the duties in Port Isabel. Game 2 ready to begin, and you wonder if Ediburg Vela will bring another level. Brownsville Porter certainly did to start this series and won game 1 by 8. Serve across by the Cowgirls. Sabercats of Ediburg Vela on the first attack of game number 2. Ball in play, off the net. Cowgirls spike it across. Both teams showed the ability to sustain long rallies and win points off of long rallies. Punched over this time by the Cowgirls. Covered nicely. They'll set up Maldonado. Diving play keeps that alive for the Cowgirls. Spiked across and a point scored for Porter. A rare communication error between the two teams. Normally it takes just a well-placed hit or a ball with some angle to secure a point. It's rare you see two players looking, wondering who's going to take charge. In the net's going to be called now against Vela, and a point to Porter puts him up 2-0. Reminding you, highlights from all of these games will be up a little bit later on. You can also watch replays of our games. Serve across. Punched up in the air by the Sabercats. Set up Maldonado. Back row right there again to play it for the Porter Cowboys. Spike off the SaberCat defense. Maldonado off the net this time. Finds the spot, scores the point. SaberCats make it 2-1. Maldonado with good vision that time. Sometimes that plays into a big-time benefit when you can allow your hitters to come in from off the net to take a peek at where the defense is, especially on the back row. SaberCats tie it up at 2 apiece. And they'll be serving now, trying to take the lead. Cross played by the SaberCats. High set on a back set, tipped across, played by the Cowgirls. Ball over on the Vela side. Going to work, set it up, off the block, played by the Cowgirls. Challenge at the net, still alive. Rally continues. SaberCats watching. Cowgirls on the attack again, tipped over. Back corner there. SaberCats keep that one alive. Maldonado two-hands it over. Cowgirls attacking yet again at the net. Off the block. Point, Ediburg, Vela. Long rally that time. Gabriela Avila back to serve. Puts it across. Good high set this time. Cowgirls on the attack, and they get the kill. This time it's Anahi Villarreal on the finish. All knotted up at 3 apiece here in game 2 of this best of 3. SaberCats put it across again. Back row to play that. Ball back over. Ediburg Vela on the attack. Maldonado off the net. Got the point. Vela back on top by 1. By this time in game 1, Porter had extended the lead and had taken control of the momentum of the game by broadening the range between the two teams. Here in this one, SaberCats right with them and leading. Cowgirls trying to respond. That's going to be in the net called, and a point to Porter ties us at 4 apiece. Errors come in many directions from volleyball. Service errors are the most magnified, but those in the net plays when you're just approaching to challenge a hit are still errors that coaches, they just drive them crazy. Maldonado tips that over. Cowgirls there to play that. Ball at the net, still alive. Cowgirls looking for the attack off the net this time. Back row there to play that for Ediburg Vela. Back set this time, right side, and finding the spot is Isabella Rodriguez on the kill. Rodriguez from that right side. SaberCats back up by 1 as they'll serve it across. Cowgirls on a back row attack. Back row there to play that for the SaberCats of Ediburg Vela. Maldonado has it blocked back at her. Welcome back to the front row, Michaela Garcia for Brownsville Porter. Garcia was instrumental in play on the first game, active at the net. Cowgirls serve it, a short serve. Second hit over, Cowgirls there to cover that. High set for Garcia, past the block, and an easy point for Porter. They take the lead. So Garcia went from the blocker to the primary hitter there. Getting a solo block in front of her, so she used the angle. SaberCats on the attack. A high set off the net, spiked over. Cowgirls from the back row this time will bring it across, looking for the sideline. That carries out of bounds. Ties us at 6 apiece. Substitution in the game for Ediburg Vela as Karen Rojas back in the game. Rojas with a jump serve. Good return. Right on the money with a pass. Center set, and down it goes. Point Porter. That was just letter perfect pass, set, kill for the Cowgirls. Back up by one as Porter serves. Back of the line, Azeneth Perez. Perez puts it across. Deep serve. SaberCats, nobody there for the second hit. Point Porter. Cowgirls up by a couple. Another serve across. In the net. Service error opens the gates for Vela. Vela will substitute in. A couple of new players in this ball game. Back to the front row for the SaberCats is Hannah Larson. Short serve, a service error right back at you, and Porter back up 2. 9-7 game. Jump serve this time by the Cowgirls, played by the SaberCats of Ediburg. Vela. Larson this time was backing away as that hit came across. Cowgirls on the attack. Good pass by Maldonado. Back set for her off the back row. Played though by the Cowgirls. A high set off the net again. Looking in the direction of Catherine Salas. Can't get the point just yet. They'll set it. No, the second hit over. Played this time by the SaberCats. Back set again for Maldonado. Out of bounds. Point to Porter. They're up 3. The confidence level by this Brownsville Porter team is just soaring after getting that game 1 victory. And even though they trailed here in this one at one point, they now have the 3-point lead and a timeout called by Vela. Porter making a statement here, trying to win their first game in pool play. Doesn't look like they should have lost 2. Vela still talking it over.
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits. 828 Westport Drive, Port Mansfield, Texas.
Back here after the timeout, a serve goes into the net. And Ediburg Vela will try to take advantage of that and erase it. Right now a 2-point lead for the Porter Cowgirls. Ball on the back row. Cowgirls will attack from there. That's off the net. Maldonado rotating back to the front row. They'll set her. Back row there to play that up in the rafters. It caroms off of that and a point for Vela. You can play those out of the rafters, but good luck when it hits with any pace up there. It's coming off of not necessarily a flat surface coming back at you. Cowgirls attacking now. Back row there to play it for the SaberCats of Ediburg Vela. A high set in the center. Smashed across. SaberCats keep that one alive. Back on the Cowgirls side, nothing doing. Point, Ediburg Vela ties it up. All-out effort on that back row that time by Ediburg Vela. And so they've responded after trailing by 3 here in game 2. Now looking for the lead. Nothing doing, though, as right back at you comes Brianna Franco for the kill. Cowgirls maintain control of the lead as we now reach the middle part of this game. Serve over. Ashley Pena now serving. Maldonado unleashes her biggest hit of the game and ties it at 11 apiece. And that's the Glennis Maldonado we saw last week as she was attacking when she was on that front row. Serve across, played by the Cowgirls, and a bad pass, and Vela takes the lead. That's a 4-1 run now for Ediburg Vela to not only get back in this game, but now have the lead and serving for more. Vela serves it over. Back set this time for the Cowgirls, and a kill ties us up. Another answer as they went right back in the direction of Catherine Salas this time. Cowgirls to serve as Salas rotates back to serve. Just off the net, played by the SaberCats. Back set, this is Larson. Cowgirls on the attack. In the net it goes. Point Ediburg Vela. They lead at 13-12. Back to serve is Hannah Larson. Short serve. Cowgirls set it on the back row. Good play by Larson back there for Ediburg Vela to keep this one alive. Another chance for the Cowgirls. Back set this time right side. Point, we're tied. 13 apiece, and this it resembles exactly what we saw Porter playing against Rio Grande City. It was a challenge for every point all the way through the third game. Vela seems to have found a little bit more of a rhythm to stay in this game. That's an ace off the net for Porter. And sometimes the bounce in volleyball is as important as anything. Serve over. Ball up high, played by the SaberCats. Maldonado off the block this time, ties us up at 14. Maldonado now rotates back to the back row. Her jump serve is lethal. Short serve this time, played by the Cowgirls. Tipped over, and that lands for the point. And so now as they're exchanging points, it's Vela continually looking up on the trailing side. Even if it's a one-point game, you're still looking up, having to catch up. That wears on you after a while. Cowgirls get it across. SaberCats set it up on the back row. Deep on the hit, Cowgirls go up. And the reason why that becomes so important when you're looking up at a one-point deficit over and over and over is because you have to play perfect to keep tying the game. You give up what just happened there, a miss hit. Now you're down 2. Maldonado, that's off the block. Covered nicely by the Cowgirls. Set it up. This is Perez. Got it to go. 3-point lead for Porter. Then momentum comes into play. Another serve coming up for the Cowgirls. Diving play by the SaberCats up at the net. Second hit over, covered nicely. Quick set again to Perez. Back row, that is out. And a point for the Ediburg Vela SaberCats. Next serve coming across. This time Ediburg Vela playing catch-up again. Rojas serves. Cowgirls to play it. Tipped over. Back at you on a nice block that time at the net for Ediburg Vela. Timeout called by Porter. They recognized a little change that time at the net. Porter Cowboys lead is down to 1. Reminding you this game is brought to you into our community courtesy of Hacienda Ford in Edinburg, one of our title sponsors. Coming on board, you'll see more and more of their activity on our social media, on our website, and throughout our broadcast. Hacienda Ford, Edinburg. Back after this.
Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
Back here after a quick timeout, and Ediburg Vela serving to try to tie this game. Karen Rojas was serving late in game 1 when Vela seemed to find their best rhythm in scoring points. Now trying to tie it. Cowgirls, though, trying to maintain control of the lead. Back set for Maldonado for the SaberCats, and that produces we're tied. So a little 3-0 run by Ediburg Vela knots us up at 17. Can the SaberCats now take a lead and start having the Cowgirls of Brownsville Porter come from behind? Ball just across the net. Back on the SaberCat side, set it up center. Back row plays that for the Cowgirls. Second hit over. Again a center set. Blocked. Ball still alive. Cowgirls set it up middle. Spiked across. Good dig that time by Rojas on the back row. Here's Maldonado. Over on the Cowgirl side. Back again to the middle they go. Another diving play keeps us alive. Rojas being active on that back row. Cowgirls again on the attack. Center set again. Right at Rojas this time. Maldonado two-hands it over. A long rally here. Who takes the lead? Porter. Kill that time again on the net by Michaela Garcia. 18-17 your score. You just get that feeling if you're Edinburg Vela. You just keep climbing a hill. Right as you get ready to take the final step, you look up and you're still not quite there. Cowgirls up by 1. In the net it goes. Another point for Porter. They're up 2. Then you get to that psychological part of volleyball. If you get to that 20 in a game to 25, it adds pressure to the team that's not there yet. It adds confidence to the team that gets there first. Doesn't always indicate you're the winner, but it certainly does play a factor in the game. Down the line, point Porter on a kill. Cowgirls back up by 3. Timeout Edinburg Vela. Again, they're going to look up and have to climb another hill. Cowgirls trying to put this one away. Back after this.
Needing a treat before or after the big game? Then when in Harlingen, stop in at the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli and treat yourself to some amazing things. Ice creams, shakes, sundaes, banana splits, and that's just a sample. If you can dream it, they can make it at the Scoop in Harlingen. From the deli comes a variety of sandwiches that is sure to bring you back for more. Hamburgers and hot dogs served every day. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, Sundays from 12 to 6 on F Street in Harlingen. It's the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we resume play here in Game 2. Edinburg Vela is trying to force Game 3 in this best of 3. If we get to Game 3, it goes to 25. Porter is trying to just outright close it out as the Cowgirls serve, leading by 3. Good pass, right on the money for the SaberCats. Punched across too deep on the back row, though. Point Cowgirls. Porter will serve again. Azeneth Perez back at the line. SaberCats looking to set up something on the offense. Set it up, spiked across. Covered by the Cowgirls. Two-handed over. Right there is the SaberCats. Set it up on the left side. This time again played by the Cowgirls. Just controlling it, staying in play. Taking what this SaberCat team throws at them and then go on the attack when given the chance. That's in the net. They'll call that a block. Ball up at the net again. Spiked across. Diving play by SaberCats. Keep it alive. Tipped across. Back at you. Point Edinburg Vela. And you thought midway through that was a point anyway for Edinburg Vela. They called it a block, but it looked like it was in the net more so than touched by a SaberCat player. 3-point lead. SaberCats to serve. Down 3. Knuckleball and nearly an ace. How about that play by the Cowgirls? Can't get it across though. That is an all-out effort back to the net by Azeneth Perez for Porter. Edinburg Vela to serve. Down by 2. Better return a serve this time for the Cowgirls. A back set. In the net it goes. 1-point game. So now you're the SaberCats. You're back to within 1, and the Cowgirls take a timeout. Back after this.
The bonds we create with our pets can be powerful. A man's best friend really isn't just about dogs, but about any animal companion that brings us joy and unconditional love. Losing a loved one is heart-wrenching, but losing a pet can be just as difficult. Unconditional love deserves unmatched service, which is why we offer pet services for those special pets that become a special part of the family. We serve all the members of your family.
Back here after the timeout. We are back to action. Cowgirls of Porter with the lead. And now looking to extend the lead on a center set. Punched up in the air. Ball back on the SaberCats side of Edinburg Vela. They've climbed back up the hill 3 or 4 times in this game just to get it close. Looking to tie it here with a good set, nothing doing. That's going to be 2 hits. And another point to Porter. They extend the lead back to 2. So the timeout well placed that time by Brownsville Porter. The SaberCats were poised to tie this one up. Nothing doing. Cowgirls with a little bit of a cushion to work with. They'll serve. Short serve. SaberCats, one more rotation and Maldonado's back on the front row. Cowgirls would like to get a point here, if possible. Back row set, Maldonado can attack from back there. Just hasn't been as productive as we've seen thus far yet in this matchup. Back row attempt. This time they'll cut it across by Rojas. Ball at the net. Point, SaberCats. And now you get the rotation you wanted. Maldonado to the front row for Ediburg Vela in a 1-point game, and you're serving. SaberCats serve it up just across the net. Played by the Cowgirls. They'll race over and get to that. Somehow that becomes a set. Ball back up into the rafters. Played by the SaberCats. Free hit coming up for Porter. Good pass. The setter who made that last play is Ashley Pena. That ball goes out of bounds, and we are tied at 22 apiece. Ediburg Vela trying again to get not just on the hill, but over the hill with this lead. Good set this time for the Cowgirls. Spiked across, played by Ediburg Vela. Back set this time, Maldonado back to the net, gets it over. Cowgirls on the attack from the left side, in the net it goes, and Ediburg Vela takes the lead. It's been a long time since I've said that. SaberCats now looking to get to that magical 24 first. Across it comes. Cowgirls. Center set, 2-handed over. SaberCats punch it in the air. Now set up Maldonado. Good set, and she puts it out of bounds. All tied at 23. That's a near miss for Glennis Maldonado. All tied at 23. Cowgirls serve it up. Right down central. SaberCats find Maldonado. Cowgirls looking to take the lead. Second hit over. Diving play. Ball at the net. Punch right back over. Kept alive again by the SaberCats. Back over on the Porter side. SaberCats now with a better set center. This is Larson. Got this point. Larson found a spot. SaberCats up 1, now serving for the win. Ball across, Cowgirls. High set, back set, punched over. SaberCats on the attack, Larson again. Back row there to play that for the Cowgirls. Set it up, and in the net it goes. Played back over, they'll call that a block. Ball back on the Maldonado side, block back at you. SaberCats keep it alive. Punched over, and a point for Ediburg Vela. They win game 2. 25-23, coming from behind several times. Ediburg Vela forces game 3. They'll flip a coin and decide to serve. Game 3 goes to 25 for reference. Back after this.
Start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Back here as we continue our day one coverage of the tournament in Mission. Volleyball action here, second week of tournaments. There'll be additional tournaments next week as they'll be converging at Sherryland. We also are eyeballing the tournament in Hidalgo as our second tournament possible coverage. And then the following week, on Thursday, we begin football coverage. Week one, we've got 20 games slated to cover in week one alone of audio and video when video is allowed, with our systems in place. This one enters game 3, and Ediburg Vela playing in their first game in pool play, trying to stay in contention for that top spot. Already Laredo United is 2-0. They still have to play Vela. Porter lost their first 2 games. And boy, they've been close, and they could be 1-1 coming into this one. SaberCats get it over as away we go to resume play. Maldonado pounds it away. 1-0 Vela on top to start it off. Glennis Maldonado on the kill. Now you wonder if Ediburg Vela, who played catch-up the entire game in game 2, how differently they'll play if they can get out of the gate with a lead. Porter on the return. Have been there all series. Played over on the SaberCats side, set up Maldonado. Unleashes again off the block. 2-0 Ediburg Vela. And Glennis Maldonado now starting to feel it for the SaberCats of Ediburg Vela. Next serve across. Good pass this time by the Cowgirls. Set it up on a back set. Nicely played this time by the SaberCats. Cowgirls looking for a chance here. Two-handed past the blockers. Maldonado on the pass. They'll set her right back up on the angle. That's out of bounds. 2-1 ball game. 3 consecutive opportunities. The SaberCats went right to the power of Glennis Maldonado. Cowgirls to serve it up. Maldonado punches that in the air. Larson plays that in the net. It goes, and that's a point to Porter. We're all tied at 2 apiece. You know, in best of 3 series, sometimes game 2 is referred to as a courtesy game by the team that won the first one. I don't think Porter is going to call that a courtesy game as Maldonado secures another point. Because I think Porter was bringing everything they had in game 2 to put that away. Ediburg Vela just ramped up the ante, if you will, and found a way to get the win. Porter looking to tie it up here. Spiked across, played off the net, and a point for Porter. We are tied at 3 apiece. Kill that time for the Cowgirls by Anahi Villarreal. 3-3 game. This does go to 25. A lot of the tournament actions we've been covering. The game 3 will go to 15. Maldonado on the right side this time. That carries too far out of bounds, and Porter takes the lead. So now we're going back and forth, exchanging the lead. Cowgirls to serve it up. Short serve played by Ediburg Vela. Back set this time on the back row. They'll punch it across. Played by the Cowgirls looking for the lead. Back corner, and they'll get it. 2-point lead now for the Cowgirls. Serve across. Good pass this time for the SaberCats. Maldonado tips it over. On a back set, tipped off the block, another point for Porter. They go up 3. You wonder if any team seizes just outright momentum and control of the lead. Will that be enough to carry through for the win? Serve in the net, draws us back to 2. Porter with the lead. Vela will serve. Maldonado back to service line. Glennis Maldonado ready to go. Short serve played on the back row. Ball up in the rafters, played over. Maldonado with a pass. They'll set it up on the back set. Spiked across. Played, though, by the Cowgirls. Back over on the Ediburg Vela side. Center set this time, off the partial block. High set on that left side. That's off the block. Punch back over on the Cowgirl side. Set it up center this time. That's off the net. Carries out of bounds. Was it touched? No. Point Ediburg Vela. Michaela Garcia was hoping for a touch off that ball. Maldonado serves now, trying to tie it up. High set on the right side. Swing across. Down it goes. A point for Porter on a kill by Villarreal. Anahi Villarreal. Now a 7-point, or check that, a 2-point lead for Porter. 7-5 your score. SaberCats on the return, a back set this time. That's over on the Porter side, right back at you at the net, and a point for Porter. They go back up 3. 8-5 the score. Porter to serve it up. Good serve across this time by Annette Luna. Back row punched over. Cowgirls. Back row attack. That's a good hit. Nice play by Maldonado to keep that one in play. Sets up the hit and a point for Ediburg Vela as Haley Castillo gets it down. Castillo attacking off the block. And one thing about this, you're Rio Grande City and Laredo United South, you're rooting for Porter just to extend this Vela team. Vela has to stay on the court and play 2 games after this. Point Porter. So all the energy used in game 2 to come back and eventually win, and now the energy playing out here in game 3 for Ediburg Vela. How much will they have in the tank by the time they get to that final game tonight? Maldonado spikes that off the block. High set in the middle. Spiked across. That's out of bounds. Point Ediburg Vela. 9-7 game. SaberCats to serve it up. Cross played by the Cowgirls. High set on the left side, tipped over. SaberCats play it up high on the left on their own. Over the block. Might have been tipped. Ball back at the net, nothing doing. Point Ediburg Vela. You can see the Cowgirls were off sync there as that ball came across the net. 1-point game as Ediburg Vela will serve. Trying to tie it up. Good pass this time. Back set. And Garcia tries to put it away. Nothing doing. SaberCats one-handed to the back row of the Cowgirls. Again, they'll set it up. This time on the left side. Across. Again, SaberCats there to return it, but then nothing after the pass, and a point for Porter. The pass was there. No one on the front row recovered for the set. 10-8 ball game. Porter to serve. Across played by the SaberCats. High set in the middle, punched over. Ball alive on the Cowgirl side. Off the net this time. Back row there to play that for the SaberCats. Off the net this time, back on the Cowgirl side. They'll attack from the left. Right at Maldonado. She's able to return it, becomes the hitter. Ball back on the Cowgirl side. A long rally here. Cowgirls up 2. SaberCats trying to edge back into within 1. Cowgirls keep this one alive. This is a long rally here for this point. A lot of energy spent for both teams. Punched over. Cowgirls attack. Still alive at the net. Spiked again on the Vela side. Still alive. Back on the Cowgirls side. High set left side. And a whistle stops play in the net called for Ediburg. Vela, point Porter. Boy, you use all of that, and then a whistle blows to blow it dead. Serve over. SaberCats right back on the attack again. Cowgirls, good play on the back row that time to keep that one in play by Ashley Pena. Ball back over on the Cowgirl side. Golden opportunity here. Center set. Down it goes. Point. You could just see that one coming. Brianna Franco able to put it away. A rare opportunity in which the Cowgirls had just to read that hit and then set it up. Maldonado spikes it over. Cowgirls, a high set in the center. They'll punch that over, played by the SaberCats of Ediburg. Vela. Cowgirls back set it. SaberCats attack again. This is Larson off the block, carries out of bounds. They'll say it was not tipped, and a point scored for Porter. 5-point game. Timeout, SaberCats. Cowgirls trying to take game 3 and the series.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
The bonds we create with our pets can be powerful. A man's best friend really isn't just about dogs, but about any animal companion that brings us joy and unconditional love. Losing a loved one is heart-wrenching, but losing a pet can be just as difficult. Unconditional love deserves unmatched service, which is why we offer pet services for those special pets that become a special part of the family. We serve all the members of your family.
Back here after we continue play, and right now Brownsville Porter up by 6. Ediburg Vela had called that timeout, gave up a point, now trying to generate some offense. Cowgirls there to play that. Attack right back at you. In the net it goes, though. Ediburg Vela scores. I'm going to keep on this point because of the fact that Ediburg Vela has to play 3 consecutive series here in pool play without rest. And this Porter team has definitely pushed them. Down the middle, a point for the Porter Cowgirls. The winner of this pool stays here and plays tomorrow in gold bracket play. There's 8 teams that'll be here. There are some second place teams that will stick around, but it's not a guarantee that you take second place and you're in the gold bracket. So Ediburg Vela trying to stay in contention for that gold bracket spot. Porter trying to get their first win of the day in pool play. SaberCats watching now. That's off the block. Point for Porter, and they go up by 6 at 16-10. Cowgirls serving again. Catherine Salas at the service line. Gets it across, played by the SaberCats. Set it on a back set for Maldonado. Tipped it over. Middle of the defense there to cover that. Set it up. In the net it goes, though. Point Vela. This Vela team has shown that they can take advantage of situation gifted. They trail by 5 as they serve. A high set, Cowgirls attacking. SaberCats on the back set. Back across on the Porter side. Off the net again. Off the block, point. Twice they went in the direction of Azaneth Perez. Perez on the second hit got it off the block for the kill. Cowgirls with the lead and the serve coming up. Andrea Perez. SaberCats set up. Block back at you. Point Porter. That time they recognized that Maldonado was on the right side as the outside hitter. The double block easily covered that. Another timeout for the SaberCats. Now their backs are against the wall. They trail by 7. Porter trying to close it out. Back after this.
Everyone's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2 in Harlingen. Choose from a wide selection and score big today on West Expressway 83. Right now, check out this 2014 Hyundai Elantra GT. This car is loaded with a leather interior, satellite radio, Bluetooth, and it's yours today for 0 money down and $175 a month. That's right, no money down. Drive away today, just $175 a month. Or feel the power of this 2016 Dodge Challenger. This includes the RT Scat Pack, includes navigation, satellite radio, a reverse camera, an Alpine stereo system. Practically new with just 31,000 miles, powered by a 6.4-liter 392 Hemi engine. This today on the lot at $33,999. Financing is available with lending for all types. Every deal's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2, in business since 2002, Harlingen, Texas.
Point for the Cowgirls after a timeout, and Brownsville Porter. You wouldn't think they were 0-2 in pool play the way they played here against Ediburg Vela, but my friends, we missed one game because of our internet connection. The IT guy wasn't here to get us set up. And that game happened to be Rio Grande City against Porter. In that game, this Porter team played well enough to win, lost in a 3-game thriller. 2 points decided every game in that one between Rio Grande City and Porter. So for the Cowgirls to be in position to knock off Ediburg Vela here, it's not by a surprise to those that have watched these games play out. Cowgirls gaining some confidence with each serve. Now they hit it in the net. Ediburg Vela is the only team that we've witnessed in our broadcast thus far in our couple of weeks here that's capable of being down major deficits and finding a way to win. They did it last week in one of our games we covered at McCallum Memorial. Timeout called. Cowgirls and SaberCats return after this.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Services have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together.
Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Hi, we're the Ediburg Bobcats. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, after a timeout, the Porter Cowboys reach 21st. Lead this by 7 as they'll serve here in game 3 of this best of 3. SaberCats of Ediburg Vela punch it over and get the point. 6-point game. Now if you're Ediburg Vela, you're looking at you need to get to 17. In other words, score at least 3 points here off this service rotation. You're just going to run out of time. Karen Rojas to serve it. This is the server that actually produced a lot of points in game 1 when they were much needed, trying to stave off game points at that time. SaberCats can't punch it over. Point Porter. Cowgirls not only get Rojas off the line, they score another point and are 4 away from closing this out. Cowgirls to serve again. Short serve played by Ediburg Vela. Ball over on the Cowgirl side, kept alive, nothing doing. Point Ediburg Vela. Six-point game. SaberCats to serve again. Porter Cowgirls, a good pass that time, but carries too far. Return of serve was there, just the momentum carried the setter near the net. 5-point game. SaberCats serve again. Short serve, better pass this time for the Cowgirls. Back set, off the block, point. Once they get that set in motion, it starts with the return of serve for Porter. They do have just enough weaponry up front to contend. SaberCats on the back set. Diving play kept alive by the Cowgirls. Ball up near the net. Miscommunication, point Vela. Anytime you see two players look at each other versus look at the ball, bad things happen. Point SaberCats. They're down 5. Can they get to 20 here on this service rotation? Porter willing to exchange points here, back and forth. SaberCats punch it out of bounds. Point Porter. Porter, remember, against United South, was close early in both of their games, and from the midway point after United got a 7-point lead, Porter played with them right down to the end in both games. Maldonado off the block, scores a point for Ediburg Vela. Once again, though, Porter perfectly content with trading points right now with a 5-point lead. This is where they were on the other side of this against United South. Serve across, deep serve, that's out of bounds. Point Porter, and the Cowgirls of Brownsville Porter are one away from knocking off Ediburg Vela. Somewhere, Ed Calcelsa watching this with interest. Porter's in their district. We'll be at Ed Calcelsa on Tuesday for a game against Mission Veterans. Communication at the net, and they'll go award the point to Vela. So change that up. Points scored Ediburg Vela. That keeps Porter off the 24. SaberCats serve it up. Short serve. Good pass this time by the Cowgirls. Set it up. Two-handed over. Looking for the back corner. Played, though, by the SaberCats. Back over on the Porter side. A high set at the net. Off the block. They can't cover it. That's a point for Porter. Now they're at 24. 5-point lead. Cowgirls serving for the win. Back at the line stands Catherine Salas. Gets it across. SaberCats set it up. Larson gets it over. Cowgirls looking for the win right here on a back set. Across it goes. And a point. Porter wins 25-19. Relentless pursuit that time for the victory for the Porter Cowgirls, and they get the win here in this one. A hard-fought 3-game set. And Brownsville Porter gets a win in pool play. They now sit back at 1-2 in pool play. But a tough team that will contend when they get into bracket play tomorrow. It won't be in the gold bracket, but they'll be a team that'll be playing with a lot of confidence thanks to how their efforts were today. United South takes on Vela. We're going to take a break. SaberCats need a break. They're going to have to go back to back to back from Porter to United South, and Rio Grande City sitting back saying, we get them third. SaberCats fall in this one. Till next time, so long.